Right, this is lesson 4 in the software unit for GCSE Computing, and this lesson is all about utility software. Now, this is my little diagram again below, and as you can see on the bottom we have the hardware, and the purpose of the operating system is to communicate with the hardware, and obviously apps then goes through the hardware to communicate So it has to go through the operating system to the hardware to communicate. Now this unit is all about utilities software. Now utilities software is probably one of the hardest things to define because the operating system has utilities built into it, and you can also download utility software so that you can put them as applications on your computer. So, what are utilities? Well, utilities can be categorized into 3 main categories, which are computer security, disk organization, I'm going to put org because I can't be bothered writing organization, and system maintenance. Now within these categories there are 3 types of computer security software, 3 types of disk organization software, and 4 types of maintenance software. Okay? Now, we're going to quickly go through each one of these and just explain what each of the different types of software under each category means. So, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to erase the first one, these 2, and we're just going to talk about the first one, which is computer security. Now, computer security has 3 types of software underneath it. We have firewalls, we have spyware or anti-spyware, let's get confused, and we have antivirus. Now when we talk about, well, we'll go through these in steps. So a firewall is something that stops people getting into your computer. It acts as a barrier of fire, or a barrier, between your computer, so that's your PC, and the outside world, which I will draw as a cloud, otherwise known as the internet. And it allows pieces of software, before you go through, and I'll get my words in, before you send anything from your computer to the internet, it'll ask you, are you sure you want to send this information? And if anything tries to come down from the internet into your computer, it says, are you really sure you want to let this into your computer? And that's what a firewall does. It's a way of stopping it. And it's a really, really good tool. If you're looking for some free ones, Microsoft has one that comes with its operating system. But there's also ones like Zone Alarm, which are free examples. If you have something like Trend, these are all Trend or Symantec antivirus. You have to pay for these, but they still contain a firewall. Now, spyware is little programs that install themselves on your computer, and they're used to track what you do. The easiest way of thinking about this is the biggest website, one of the biggest websites in the world, which is Facebook, and down the side you have ads. And the advertisements are actually generated by looking at what you are doing on Facebook or what you have on Facebook. So the ads look at what you're doing on Facebook and then tailor themselves to your needs. They also, if you've got Facebook open in a tab and you're looking at other websites, it then looks at what you're looking at as well as Facebook and uses that information. Now, anti-spyware, its job is to remove all traces of that information. So it's a way of cleaning up your computer. And the last one is antivirus. And antivirus, we talk about this a lot. Antivirus is a way of scanning your computer and making sure that there are no viruses on it. It won't stop viruses getting into your computer, but it will remove them once they're there. The only way you can stop a virus getting into your computer is probably checking what you download by using a firewall. Right, the next section is disk organization. And disk organization contains three main types of software. Now, when you get disk organization, you tend to get these softwares with your computer. There are others available you can download, but most of these come with your computer. These are known as defrag, or defragmentation, or defragment, formatting, and file transfer. So, we'll quickly go through these. Defragmentation is a way of organizing your hard drive. So if you imagine that your hard drive is like this, and we have software that's installed all over it. And what happens when you install a new piece of software is the new piece of software kind of fills in the blanks where there may be spaces on your hard drive. Of course, when I then try and access my hard drive, it jumps all over your hard drive to try and find all the bits of the software, and then puts them all together so that you can use them. Now, we've talked about this a bit in the hardware unit. Now, the job of the defragmenter is basically to take your hard drive, move all the bits, and try and organize it in one order. This can speed up your computer because obviously, if you then try to run it, the hard drive just has to run the software that's all grouped together in nice little chunks. And that's what defragmentation does. And lately, most operating systems come with a defragmenter. Formatting is a way of setting up devices to use, setting up storage. So, for example, if I buy a new pen drive in the shop, I will format it so that I can use it with my particular operating system. Depending on, sometimes if there are different ways of formatting, you can erase it, or you can actually do a full setup from scratch. Again, these utilities come with it. On file transfer utilities, well, these are the things like copy and move, which we are so used to using in our operating system. But there are different ways of transferring files. If, for example, we could get a file transfer utility for Dropbox, we download that utility and it will allow me to transfer files from my computer to the cloud or on to the internet, and it would allow me to do that fairly quickly and easily. These are file transfer utilities. Now, just so I don't run out of time, I'm going to quickly go over to the last section, which is system maintenance. And system maintenance is all about looking after the data that we already have. So we have diagnostic software, we have cleanup software, we have update software, and we have backup software. Again, these are all freely downloaded. Diagnostic software is used to repair or find areas to repair on my hard drive. Okay, that's very clear. We've got to be clear on that. It's to find areas to repair. So if sometimes your hard drive may be damaged, and that way we find the areas to repair, we can repair it so that we can get some of the data back. If you ever have a pen drive that crashes, you can get diagnostic software that will find the errors in your pen drive and try and repair it so that you don't lose all your data. There's cleanup software. Now, cleanup software is to remove things like redundant applications and redundant files that may be scattered all over your computer. They're quite quickly generated, and obviously we want to get rid of it. I know that on Mac there is one called CC Cleaner, which is free, and it goes through my hard drive and it cleans it up. It removes anything that's redundant or anything that's left behind by uninstall applications. Update, we've all seen Microsoft Update and we've all seen System Update software. You tend to get these installed when you buy a bundle of software. So if you buy Microsoft Office, it comes with a System Update already installed, and that's another type of utility. And backup, well, backup is all about putting stuff away in the right place, storing stuff in so that we can get it back if we ever lose it. Mac comes with these all come pre-installed with Microsoft, but you can find lots and lots of different backup utilities. The most common on Mac is Time Machine because it comes installed with the software. So we've talked about some of the utility software for Windows. We've talked about some of the system utility software for Mac there. So in the light of balance, most of these softwares are free, but they usually charge you a price to then upgrade them. So then they would make their money, and that's how they make their money. Right. This is the last section in the software unit. So if you understand all those different areas, hopefully you'll get a good grade in the exam.